Okay, someone made a statement that the one thing they wish Koala had, or um, that is missing, is basically a way to arrange the songs. And I guess they meant like a better way to arrange the songs, because technically Koala does have a way to arrange the songs. It's not a DAW though. So just so we can probably get that clear, it's not a DAW and it's not a drum machine. There's a difference. This is a sampler. It's a simple sampler. The SP404 is a sampler. It's not a drum machine. It can do drum machine like task and it can do other things, but it's technically not a drum machine. So when I think of drum machine, I think of the MPC, and then there's like, the TR, what is it, 606, 808, those type of things where they are made for drum machine. They're made to put for specifically for drums. The MPC is a drum machine and a sampler, and it's kind of a DAW in a box in a way. However, I still think of its primary use case as a drum machine and a sampler. Koala to me is a sampler. It's amazing at what it can do as a sampler, but it's a sampler. However, to say that it can't do arrangements or that it's not good at it, well, that's one person's opinion, but I think it really is good, better than what you think. It just takes time to get used to it. So that's what I'm going to do today, is kind of introduce my workflow to kind of show you that, yes, it can be better than what you think. All right. One of the things that I am looking forward to when they've already added it down here where you can label something, is when they label these. It will make more sense to you, right? Because right now you kind of have to have a method to your madness. So there's different ways to do that, right? My tendency is to start with one box or one sequencer. In this case, I have a 4-bar. You can see I've set it for 4. All these are set for 4, by the way. And I just put the intro in the first box. The second box is kind of my lead in or whatever I'm going to use. And then I gradually build it up to where it's going to be. And then I build it back down and break it down or whatever I'm going to do. And then at the end, when I'm ready to sequence or arrange this whole thing, all I have to do is drag that box to here and then drag this box, and then it'll say add to the end. So I'll show you that just so you can see. So if I take this box here, that's maybe the first 4 bars. Let's say I want this to be the second. Drop it in, and you'll see this box pops up. It asks you, do you want to mix, add to the end, or cancel? If you mix, it's just going to combine the two. But if you add to the end, it's starting the sequence, right? So it sequences. Now you can see it's playing this sequence, now this sequence. That's how you arrange in Koala. Now tap it. You'll see now you're at 4-bar has went to an 8-bar. And you can keep going. So let's say this is the next one. Drag it in, drop it, add to the end. Now you have a 12-bar, and this will show you how many bars you have. 2. Let's say this is the next one. Drag it, drop it in, add to the end. Now you have 16, and maybe you want that one. Add to the end. Now you have 20. And I believe, if I remember right, it goes up to 64. I want to say 64 bars, which is quite a bit. So let's just do something really quick. Let's say I want to go play this bar again. Add to the end. Now we're at 24. And I'm just going to keep adding the same bar just so we can speed up the process. You'll see. So we're at 32. Here's another 4. And to make it even go faster, we're at 40 right now. I'm just going to do this and then throw that back on top, add to the end. Oh, it went further. So we actually have way more than 64. You see it went to 80. Let's do it again, see if it'll go again. 120. Look at this, guys. So you have the ability to arrange. Now what do you want to do? Let's say you want to drop out some drums. You can see where the bars are you're at. Go in and drop out the drums on that one. Or if you have a spot you would like to drop out the drums, let's say, let's get rid of this, put this over here, this here. Let's say in here you want 2 copies. The second copy, you're going to change the drum arrangement. Just change the drum arrangement in that one copy, and then when you put them together, now you have 8 bars. There's your 8 together. There's so many ways to do this. So yes, Koala is not a DAW. Yes, Koala is not really a drum machine, but Koala is a great sampler and does have a pretty good arranger in it for the most part, especially on iPhone and iPad. The fact that there's a lot of DAWs that do more, but are not this simple to get something done quick. You have to spend a little more time with it, trying to get all that extraness in it. You know what I'm saying? If you use AUM, you know what I'm talking about. You got to do a lot more work. And even if you use Cubasis or even Beatmaker 3, there's more work involved in fixing different parts of the DAW. Sure, is it convenient? Absolutely. I definitely like Beatmaker 3, probably the best as far as the DAWs go. But in reality, this is not bad at all. This is actually a really good tool. And I think if you start using it, you'll understand more, dive a little bit deeper than just putting something in here and resampling a sound. You can do some pretty amazing stuff. The fact that you have 4 pages of pads, you got technically, if you go here and turn, you got 4 pages of sequencers you could do. So try that out on your next time in Koala if you don't already do so. Make your intro your first bar, make you a verse, make you a hook, maybe make a bridge or another verse, another hook, so on and so forth. When you get everything in this one, flip over a page and start, or if you leave one space open, if you can, just start dragging to that one space and add to the end and build your song by building the parts the way you want. Then after you finish that, send the song out to AUM or wherever you like to mix at and do the final mix in AUM. I'll show you how I would do it. Let's say I send something out. I'm going to save this first of all. I'm going to close Koala, otherwise it'll slave itself to... Here's AUM. Check this out. So go in AUM. AUM's kind of weird. Let me fix this because I feel like this light is like really bright. Maybe I could turn it down a little bit more. That's a little bit better. It's kind of bright. Anywho. So let's just open up one. In AUM, after you've already got the DAW where you want it, got the song completely formed out the way you want it. And let's say you want to do like a master channel mix on it. Now, if you want it separated, you have to stem it out. And then you got to bring in each stem, and that's a little more work. Or if you build the song here, you can make channels. We'll talk about that in another one. I think I've done videos on it, but this is just a basic one, right? So there's a thing called File Player. Touch File Player, tap. You see it says tap to load a file. Let's see if I have something in here I could load to show you what I'm talking about. We'll use a piano one shot. Doesn't matter. Okay, there it is. So just a piano one shot. Okay. See, it says play enable. I'm just going to put it at 120. It's going to play it all the way out. And when it gets here, you see it is looping. As long as the play, it should come back. And it did not. Oh, because I didn't set the loop on. That was my fault. All right, so turn loop on. See, now it's looping. You can turn on sync, and it's syncing. And here was the original tempo is 118, whatever. We're going to put it in there. See, it says number of beats 16. So you can adjust all that if you want to. I'm just showing you it will loop. See that? So your song can literally play all the way through. Make sure you set the tempo to whatever your song tempo. That's why I put the tempo in the name of my song so that I don't forget. I usually put the key also. Then you go in here. And I'm just going to show you a basic one that I use. Here's Haze 2. I use that for stereo widening. Put natural. I'm just showing you what I do, okay? You don't have to do this. Do what you do. real bus because I like a little bit of that tape vibe. So I put the master tape on. And then on my last one, which I usually use Barricade. But you could use if you have the MBC one, which is like the mastering one. That one's there too, whichever one you have. If you look right here, there's a master bus. And you can pick that one if you want, whatever. I'm just gonna pick one. So there it is. That could be your mastering chain, something simple. And I'm using tone boosters because it's cheaper. FabFilter is a little more costly. Plus, Tone Booster works on your iPhone too, and so does Haze, which is my favorite widener. And I like Haze because, hold on, if you go to the position, it'll be. I love that natural width. It doesn't sound too overly done. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So you can change them, put real bus first, put the master in afterwards, and then boom. Okay. So complete your song all the way through and through, arranged in Koala. Then if you have AUM or if you have something else, you can put the song in something else like Beatmaker 3, AUM, or Cubasis 3, or whichever mastering. AEM is also good. And then just add your mastering chain there and you're set. So yes, it can be arranged. Now, if you're really good and you do a good job on your EQing, and when I say EQing, I mean getting all your settings right for each one of your sounds, and you use quality sounds in here, you should be able to just add a little compressor maybe. This is going to be the even simpler way, right? Add a little compressor, maybe a pinch of reverb. Use reverb like salt, seriously. Just put a pinch of it in there. It cohesively glues the track together in my mind. This is my thoughts, right? And then if you want it to be a little dirty, maybe a little bit of dirt, right? Think of the dirt could be sort of like this is not true, but it's just my thought. Could be like your coloration that you're adding to the sound. Most of the sounds typically have some, so you don't have to. You could just leave it on reverb. You could put your dirt in before that so it doesn't get too muddied. But there you go, right? And so play. I don't have headphones on to master this, so I wouldn't be mastering this without headphones. That's the worst thing you could do. Put real plugged in headphones, not Bluetooth, but real, if you're gonna do some type of mastering, so you can hear all the sounds where they sit. All right, another technique to master in here would be using the pan. If you don't want all your sounds to be, because let's say in here they don't have Haze 2 where you can get the natural wide sound. So you might have to go in and literally utilize like things like outside of the reverb, you might use the pan, right? You can make the final track, put it over here, or make the parts of the track, put them over here, pan them the way you want them, and then stack them again and make the final track, if that makes sense. There's so many ways to do it. It's more work to do that, and believe me, I'm not going to do it. I'm just telling you that it can be done. In my personal opinion, it's worthy to buy Tone Booster stuff in the bundle when it's cheap and get yourself AUM and do the mixing in AUM. You don't want to mix in Koala. It's just not like a real mix that you're going to send out to somebody. It's just not. It's not that it's impossible. It's just not good. Okay? It's just not good. It won't be the best mix unless you're just some expert at it. And then disregard. You shouldn't even be watching this video at that point anyway. All right? So if you're an expert, ain't nothing I can help you with if you're that good. So, yeah. All right. So just so you know, you can do your arranging in here and it will come out pretty nice. And I've done plenty of songs where it was just in here. Utilize your tools. You can make duplicate copies too easy. That's one thing Koala is so easy with. Want a duplicate copy? Just drag over. Boom, duplicate it. You don't have to go find a button to copy it. Just drag it over and copy it. Make yourself multiple copies. Make the adjustments within the copies, and then put those copies in order from left to right that you want to do. Once you get the final performance version of what you want, if you want to go in and do effects, then hit this drop down menu and go right here where it says, if you really want to do this live, right? You can either screen record and do it, or you can record song. Don't save. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Hit record song. It will say the recording will start when you press play and stop when you press stop, right? It makes sense. Hit OK if you're ready. Once you hit play, it's moving. Do your effects all where you want them, right? And do it for however long you want to and record that. And then when you hit stop, you name the copy or whatever you want it to be, and now you have a recorded version of it. If you don't want to do that version, then you can do like I would do, and that's put it in, send it out to AUM, export the stems, right here with export. You got current sample, all samples, current sequence, which means whatever sequence you're on, right? All sequences can go. And if you send that out, you're set. Send it out, mix that thing down in another DAW of whatever you have available, whether it's AUM or another DAW, and be done. And enjoy making music, all right? That's the most important thing. All right, I am off. I got things I got to get done. I just wanted to make this quick video because I saw that comment and I thought to myself, this person probably just doesn't know. That's probably what it is. But I get the idea. It's not on the same level as having a real DAW, which you guys have seen me is primarily why I use Ableton, because I like to have a real DAW. And it's not that I don't like Cubases, and it's not that I hate and I just don't like it. The editing in there does not work for my brain. It just taxes me. Beatmaker 3 is the best one, if I'm, in my opinion, I would use. And yeah, so whatever works for you, make it happen and enjoy making music. I'm out again. Until the next one.